What's good, y'all? It's your guy, No Mercy. You know what I mean? NoMercyTV.com, Trap House, New York. You know, just wanted to give my insights on this Cassidy and Disaster battle. You know, not necessarily the whole event, because to be honest, you know, if we take a run through the event, pretty much terrible. You know, I felt like the matchups were made without, much knowledge of the culture because some people on that card got shots, against bigger names that I personally don't feel a lot of them was ready for just yet. You know, aside from Daylight versus Sirius, which was the only debatable battle, everything else was a body bag. You know, Heartless and Danny Myers, that was ugly. Big T and Active, that was ugly. Like, that was the best Big T I've seen in a while. You know, Big T is way more experienced. I'm pretty sure after Total Slaughter, he learned how to adjust to that big stage, so he stepped his shit way up for that. Big K versus Conceited, that was crazy. Arsenal versus Thesaurus, like, all of these battles were just pretty much 3-0s. You know, Daylight versus Sirius was a great battle. You know, a lot of replay value. I like the bars that was in it, so definitely gonna give that a few more watches. But I want to get into this Cassidy versus Disaster thing. You know, first of all, Cassidy is a mainstream artist. Everybody went in this expecting this to just like destroy him. You know, you can't compare Cassidy to Canibus or Joe Budden. You know, most of us core battle fans, we came into this during the Smack DVD days. You know, I would say right after Cassidy stopped battling off camera is, when we really got to know him and, see him out more and stuff like that. So, we know he has a battling background. You know, we know he actually comes from that. We've never seen Canibus battle. You know, even though he's done diss records and things of that nature, we've never actually seen him in like a face-to-face, situation. The same thing with Joe Budden. You know, now, as far as the initial Disaster versus Cassidy match, I really didn't like it. You know, honestly, I think it was terrible. And when I get to the rematch, it's going to prove my point that mainstream artists, stop paying these niggas to come get on a big stage they first time back. Let them niggas get into a small room so that people could kind of, get used to how they style is, and we get to see them before they actually go onto a big level like that. This is not something where you can just, oh, I've sold 1 million records, I can go on a big stage and battle and rock a crowd. No, you cannot. And this has been proven plenty of times. You know, like I said, the initial battle wasn't all that. That one round that did happen, I guess you could say the Disaster had the better round. You know, Cassidy had decent material, but it was just like, I don't think he knew how to prepare for a battle that's going to be on a big stage like that. You know, now, let's get to the rematch. The rematch was very interesting, and this is for a number of reasons. First of all, I initially had Cassidy winning the battle. No, I initially had Disaster winning the battle. 2-1. I thought Cassidy would pretty much have just one amazing round out of nowhere that he would probably get. I definitely thought Cassidy would get a round, just off the initial battle. When I seen that they would have to do a rematch, and, it's last minute, they doing it the next day, common sense tells you it's going to be in a smaller setting. When I seen that, I said, yeah, Cassidy is going to win this. As I said, he comes from a battling background. You know, so if you do something like put him in a small room before trying to throw him onto a big stage, he's gonna, win the battle. You know, it's what he comes from. He's used to, when we've seen him, he was battling in the studio. You know, I'm pretty sure he comes from battling in bodegas and on a corner and shit like that. So him in a small room setting would be exactly what he's used to. You know, he never battled on the big stage before, so I wouldn't expect him to do good on the stage like that. You know, but when I heard it was gonna be a small room situation, I knew he had it in the bag. You know, now let's get down to it. Round 1. Cassidy's first round was crazy. I don't know what y'all was watching to give Disaster round 1. You know, Disaster came how he usually comes. You know, here's 1,000 words per minute. You know, he did have some hard hitting haymakers that were in there, but Cassidy won me over. First of all, Cassidy's confidence is really impressive. Like, you don't see a lot of these cats in their first battle just really in battle mode. Like, Cassidy was in battle mode. He's staring in Disaster's eyes. He grilling him. He making all types of faces. He not stumbling through his material. He not choking. Like, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, Cassidy's really making the transition to be a battler. You know, it was definitely, it was partially shock factor, you know, that made his round much more impressive. But it's the fact that even though he has like simpler setups, a basic style, his delivery and his confidence, that adds to your bars. Like, you can have the best bars in the world, but if you don't know how to deliver them shits, it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? And Cassidy delivered that shit crazy. Another thing that won me over for his first round, that imitation he did of Disaster, that was priceless. You know, that shit was real crazy. You know, so I definitely gave him the first round. Second round. The second round was you know, I edged it to Disaster. You know, Disaster was a little more consistent in his second round. Cassidy had a lot of filler in his second round. He had a couple moments, but I felt like it wasn't enough to outdo Disaster. You know, and third round we all see, you know, Disaster choked. You know, he was trying to freestyle thing, but it just wasn't working. Cassidy, his third round wasn't on the level as his first round, but it was almost there. You know what I mean? So with Disaster fucking up and, you know, Cassidy coming back with a solid third round, you know, I gave Cassidy the battle 2-1. Clearly, you know, that was that. You know, like I said, mainstream artists, you know, any big famous league owners that's watching this or whatever, before y'all book mainstream artists, stop sending them right to that big stage so y'all can try to sell tickets, because when they give a horrible performance, the 200, the 300,000 that y'all giving these niggas, y'all are gonna want y'all money back. You know, so to prevent that from happening, let these guys do a small room joint first. You know what I mean? I know some of them might not want to do it, but y'all gotta somehow convince these guys that, yo, you never battled on the big stage before, so before you do this, you need to do a small room joint just to, hey, pay these niggas to do a 1-rounder or something. A 1-round unlimited in a small room. You know, just to see how they get through their material, how confident they are, and things like that. Because, you know, I'm just speaking from a business perspective. If I've never seen somebody do something before on, like, you know, a platform of that magnitude, why pay them to do it? You know what I mean? You don't want to be the first. You don't want to be the first one taking your risk like that. You know, so like I said, let mainstream artists do these small room joints from now on. Honestly, after looking at that, I feel like if Joe Budden and Hollow was in a small room, Joe Budden would have won that battle easily. You know, it's just a different kind of energy in a small room. It's a more raw feel. You know, it doesn't feel mainstream. It doesn't look mainstream. It looks like, yo, these two guys are in an enclosed space really about to tear each other's heads off. You know, so I definitely think that's how it should go from now on. Shout out to Film on TV for at least bringing us that, because that battle has a lot of replay value. You know what I mean? So salute to Cassidy. First time back in the ring. Got a clear W in my opinion. Disaster did his thing. He at least put up a good fight, but I felt like Cassidy got that. This battle shit is not for every mainstream artist, so like I said, man, them small room joints is key. I don't care how many tickets you trying to sell. I don't care how many thousands you could fit in the arena. Them small room joints is key for when y'all trying to bring these dudes back. So that's my review of that battle. It's your guy No Mercy, NoMercyTV.com, Trap House, New York. Y'all already know what it is, man.